Hi there, it's Miss Lewis. I'm going to be taking you through question 1 on the Elizabethan paper, so the describe two features question. So this is worth 4 marks. What I'll be taking you through is what structure to use to make sure you pick up the 4 marks, but also to make sure you don't waste too much time on this question, as often pupils write too much and waste time. So firstly, let's look at the question. Describe two features. Okay, that's the question stem that will come up. Okay, so we're looking at identifying features and then describing them. Now, before we even look at this, if I give you a real life example, so if we imagine the question was, to take it away from history for a minute, describe two features of Miss Lewis's classroom, you would have to then think about my classroom and think of the features that are unique to my room. So those of you that I teach will know, for example, I have a skeleton at the front of the room. So you could write down skeleton and then describe it to me. Equally, I have a disco gnome by my desk. So you could mention a disco gnome. If you said a door, for example, that's not a feature of my room. That's very similar to what Mr. Hutchins has got next door. But you're thinking about what's unique to my room. Okay, equally, if the question was describe two features of Mr. Hutchins's room, it'd be different. Okay, so let's have a look at the question we're dealing with here. Describe two features of Elizabeth's religious settlement. So I'm just going to highlight the word two because I need to identify two and describe two. And it's Elizabeth's religious settlement. Now, what you'll need to use for this question, okay, is you will need to remember the phrase, show me your ID. Okay, so what we mean by that is, so the letters ID, so you'll be looking at identifying a feature. Okay, I've been identifying a feature and then describing it and repeat this. Okay, because it does ask for you to do it twice. So identify a feature, describe it, repeat. Okay, because it is two key features. So let's have a practice of this question then. I'm going to show you how to answer it and I'll model it in front of you so you can see that actually you don't need to write too much to get the full marks. So I need to think about Elizabeth's religious settlement. Now I remember from my own knowledge, Elizabeth's religious settlement was trying to find the middle way and she was trying to satisfy people from all religious groups, so Catholics and Protestants. So she's trying to find that middle way and not rock the boat. So I'm going to put this now to practice. My first feature of Elizabeth's religious settlement is I'm going to think of the act of supremacy. Okay, so first thing, act of supremacy. I'm going to add in the date as well, 1559. So that is my identifier. If it helps, it might be worth just jotting that in the margin there. Now I need to describe it. So underneath, or maybe just next to it, I'll write here. This gave Elizabeth the title of Supreme Governor of the Church of England, and she had power over the clergy and royal officials. Okay, so what I've done there, identify, describe. I've identified a feature of Elizabeth's religious settlement, and then I've described it. So an examiner would look at this and go, right, lovely, identified a feature. They would read this and go, right, do they understand what the feature of Elizabeth's religious settlement is? They'd read it and go, yes, 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 lovely. So you would get 2 marks there. 1 for identifying it, the second for describing it. Okay, and then what I would do, based on my advice down here, repeat it. So I'm going to go again. So I need to think now of a second feature of Elizabeth's religious settlement. So the next one I'm going to write about, I'll go for act of uniformity. So, act of uniformity, and I'm just going to pop the date in for that one as well. Okay, so that's me identifying it. Now I need to show I understand it, so I need to describe it, so done that. This stated that the Book of Common Prayer was to be used in all churches, and clergy who refused to use it would be punished. Okay, so again, if I was examining this, lovely, identified it, can they now explain to me, describe to me what the key feature is? Yes, they can. Lovely. So this person, me, would get 4 out of 4. Well done, Miss Lewis. Okay, so all you need to do for this question is show me your ID. Identify 2 features of whatever it's asking you for, and then describe each of those features. You don't need to fill any more, don't overdo it essentially, okay? That will get you 4 out of 4. Hopefully this helps. Any questions as usual, pop along and see myself or Mr. Hutchins.